So good afternoon, everyone. Shalom and welcome to the Cornerstone laying ceremony of the MSR-AZRIELI Israel Center for Medical Simulation. Dear Azrieli family, David, Zichrono Levracha, Stephanie, Dana and Danny, Galia and Ella, Nomi and Sharon in Canada, and the Azrieli Foundation management and board members here in Israel and in Canada. Professor Levy, Director General of the Israeli Ministry of Health, Professor Kreis, Director General of Sheba Medical Center, Professor Arnona Feck, Associate Director of Sheba Medical Center, Sheba and Messer teams, distinguished guests, friends and colleagues from all over the world. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Kim Macmillan. I'm the Chief Operating Officer and Deputy Director of MSR, now MSR-AZRIELI. We are very excited to see you all, those gathered here in person, and those of you joining us virtually. In commemorating the placement of this cornerstone today, we are giving shape to the new state-of-the-art 6,000 square meter building that is to come. This is a significant step in the fascinating and lengthy journey of creating a new facility that will embody not just the present, but also the future of simulation-based medical education. MSR was established 19 years ago as a national center to serve the entire Israeli healthcare system. MSR was the vision of Professor Amitai Ziv, who identified early on the power of simulation to be a cultural change vehicle for patient safety education. Professors Mordechai Shani, Bolek Goldman, and Zev Rothstein embraced Amitai's vision and supported the establishment of MSR here at Sheba Medical Center. We actually opened our doors in 2002 during Defensive Shield, training military and reserve medical teams around the clock. And to date, MSR has trained or tested over 250,000 healthcare professionals and plays a very important national role in the readiness, preparedness, and competence across the entire Israeli healthcare system. Just this past year, we trained thousands of health professionals to manage COVID-19 patients all over Israel. We're standing here today on the lawn of the MSR Tzipirkovsky Auditorium in front of the future building, and with our present facility behind you over there. MSR has grown to over 2,400 square meters, with a branch in Jerusalem, simulation units in Sheba's emergency department, operating room, neonatal and pediatric intensive care, and of course our mobile unit, MSR on Wheels. With no further ado, let me pass the microphone to Amitai, who I trust needs no introduction.
Thank you, Kim. Very exciting. Today is a very special day for Sheba and MSR, and obviously for me personally. Laying the cornerstone of the new MSR-AZRIELI Israel Center for Medical Simulation marks a most meaningful step in MSR's almost 20 years journey of transforming medical education in Israel and beyond. It is a dream come true for all of us here at the Sheba Medical Center, as well as for all our friends and gracious supporters from all over the world. We are very grateful for you all have a part in making MSR a national and international beacon of simulation-based medical education. The Azrieli Foundation's extremely generous donation enables us to expand our horizons and step into the future. Dear Azrieli family, Stephanie and your beloved late husband David, Dana and Danny and your daughters, and Nomi and Sharon in Canada, the Azrieli Foundation management, Menachem Inan arrived as well, thank you Menachem, and all the board members in Canada and in Israel. We deeply appreciate your humanistic values and your eagerness to contribute to making the world in general and in Israel in particular a better place to live. Like us, you believe in the power of education to empower and transform people's lives. This very concept of transformative experience, in essence, is what simulation is all about. Exposing health professionals to challenging encounters and extreme scenarios where they can err without endangering real patients. These simulated experiences, when coupled with constructive debriefing and self-reflection, implant a déjà vu memory that can be instantly recalled and safely applied in both life-threatening events and remotely complicated clinical and humane situations, thus saving lives, many lives, and ensuring more reflective and respectful caretakers. MESR's vision and value-driven commitment are embedded in the word MESR. MESR is not just an acronym, but in Hebrew it means a message. In fact, a message of value, which is inherent in the intolerance to missing the opportunity of learning from our errors, and the value of our commitment to constantly improving in our ultimate mission of healing. Since MESR was established, it has provided medical professionals and teams with unrivaled opportunities for emotional and professional growth. Over the years, MESR has assumed a national role in improving interpersonal or high-touch skills using role-playing actors in crucial domains such as cultural competence, domestic abuse, end-of-life discussions, and palliative care. With this expertise, MESR has also helped the Ministries of Welfare and Education to establish simulation programs in their respective fields. On the clinical front, utilizing high-tech simulators, MESR has improved clinical skills in fields such as emergency, trauma, surgery, neonatal and intensive care medicine. Not surprisingly, from the very beginning of the COVID-19 pandemic, MESR assumed its natural role as a resource for innovative, responsive training. MESR was pivotal in developing and implementing courses addressing the complex and challenging treatment of corona patients in departments of intensive care, psychiatry, geriatrics, and now in pediatric intensive care as well. Thousands of professionals have attended our courses, which were delivered online or in person here at Sheba, or across the country with MESR on wheels. MESR global reputation would not have been achieved without its superb team that has become a family. This is the team, they're standing behind us. A family of passionate, creative, dedicated, visionary professionals, and above all, humane individuals. The type of people who fulfill dreams. And I feel very fortunate to be a member of the MESR, now MSR-AZRIELI team. Oops. I wish to take this opportunity to offer our sincere gratitude to all of you who have supported this endeavor and who have worked tirelessly to bring us to this point of laying our cornerstone and helping us make this building a reality. The cornerstone we commemorate today is a concrete, tangible symbol of your extraordinary investment and enduring trust, and of the belief in the fundamental importance of simulation and its power to revolutionize traditional educational paradigms as a means to improve patient safety and patient-centered care. Dearest Dana, Naomi, Sharon, Stephanie, and the Azrieli family, the extended family and foundation, thank you again from the bottom of our hearts. Thank you for your friendship and partnership in making the medical world a safer place for people everywhere. And now, since I'm here still on the podium, I'd like to introduce Professor Chazi Levi, Director General of the Ministry of Health. We are honored to have him with us, joining us on Zoom. Professor Levi is a long-standing friend and supporter of Messer since his days as Surgeon General of the IDF. This is an opportunity to thank you for your partnership throughout the journey. Professor Levy, please.
Okay, good evening everybody, and I'm very excited to take part in this happening and this event, and speak a little about the importance of Simulation Center in the education of all the medical teams and medical professions. And that's why I'm very happy, first of all, to speak here, and then to thank all those who are contributing to enforce this method of learning and teaching. I began my internship before that, I began my relationship with the Simulation Center while I was in the Army as a military physician, and then as the Surgeon General of the Israeli Defense Forces. And I met Amit, who was Amitai, who was so dedicated to the first steps of having this simulation center and all the method of simulation center teaching. And we together work mainly on military scenarios, how to train military medical teams. And if we see now what it means, simulation center,
I think we lost you, Chezi.
And I went to the United States to see what the American Army does with simulations and how it trains all these medical teams. And we built ourselves a simulation center in the military medical school. So it was very important to train. As a curious, I can tell that when we went to a military campaign on 2006, we insisted that every medical team should go to the campaign through training in the simulation center. But in all these years, we added a lot of things, training interns before they start their internship in the medical wards, and doing some other activities. And to make it short, I think that now we cannot think how to train medical professions without simulation. Without simulation of the medical environment, of the patient environment, of relationship between the physician or the medical provider with the patient. So I'm very happy that we and you gonna build one new center, and I want really to thank all those who are contributing to this medical simulation center, and of course to Amitai. You know that in every place to have a vision and to implement the vision, there should be someone who is so dedicated, a little maybe crazy for the thing. And I think that what Amitai did for the simulation center, for the national simulation activity and methods, is really extraordinary, outstanding. And I think without Amitai and his team, we haven't been able to be in this place now. So thank you, Amitai. Thank you for friendship. Thank you for what you are doing. And thank you for all those who are contributing. And thank you, of course, to Sheba Medical Center. And I see here at Professor Kreis and Alon, the Surgeon General. that now this, within 5 to 6 hours, going to send a medical delegation to help in Guinea, in New Guinea, with Sheba and with the Ministry of Health. This is one of the spirit of medicine in Israel and humanitarian medicine. And of course, we gain a lot of things through this simulation center. So thank you to everybody, and thank you to Azrieli family. And I'm sorry I'm not with you, but I'm happy to see you here through the Zoom meeting and to congratulate everybody. Thank you.
Thank you, Chezi. Very much appreciated that you're with us all along the journey. I'm pleased to invite Professor Alon Glasberg, who is the current Surgeon General, who is honoring us with his presence. So, Alon, I'm very, very excited that you're with us. Thank you.
Yeah, I'm surprised that I'm with you.
You're also surprised.
Good afternoon, thank you. I'm honored. I have a small confession. I'm not sure you're aware of it, but I was actually a guide in MSR. I'm so proud that I put it in my CV. I think it's one of the greatest achievements for us as a medical system. Okay, so can you hear me now? Okay. On behalf of the Medical Corps, the IDF, and generations of providers, I would like to thank you, Amitai, for leading the way, and all of you. I think MSR represents the best of in our system, which is learning from our mistakes, bravely learning from our mistakes, actually, I would add, and fixing it and teaching the next generation to be better than us. We have learned a lot. I have learned a lot. I'm honored to be a member in this family. And I'm sure Amitai has already said that, but I will say that again. Thank you up front for thousands of lives that we will save thanks to your generous donation. So thank you all, and good luck.
Alon, thank you so much for being with us. I'm not so sure that the sound is good enough, is it? Yeah. So now it is my honor to invite Dana Azrieli. I'd like to introduce Dana, who is the chairwoman of the Azrieli Group and co-chair of the Azrieli Foundation in Israel. Dana and Danny, we all remember very well your visit exactly 5 years ago. It was March 2016. When you came to MSR over there for the first time with Naomi, with your mother Stephanie, and with the whole International Board of Trustees. Menachem, you were there too. That was the virtual Cornerstone. Today is the real one. So thank you for your trust and patience, a lot of patience. We are extremely grateful for all your support all along. Dana.
כמו בחדשות. טוב. Thank you everyone for being here today. It's a great honor and pleasure, first of all, to meet outside together, to be with each other on so many levels, and to celebrate this amazing project and this donation, which has been so long in the making. And second, it's wonderful to get out and have a reason to celebrate after so many months of closures and quarantines. So it's wonderful to be together. So I must be honest with you. At first glance, giving $10 million for a simulation center when it first came to my attention 5 years ago was not an obvious thing for me to think about doing. That's the truth. At least it really wasn't obvious to me. I mean, I understood its importance theoretically, but I thought to myself, look, real people are dying every day, and they need real medical interventions and donations, and real people need real surgeries and real treatments they can't afford, and real equipment that real hospitals don't have. So why would we spend so much money on something that is effectively make-believe? But when you look at the data, it's really quite extraordinary. And what is happening here at Tel HaShomer is of extraordinary importance. It's extraordinary to the medical field all over Israel and for people all over the country. So it turns out, when you learn about it, there's a really big problem in hospitals. You guys know this, but I'm going to talk about it. It's a really big problem in hospitals all over the world and in medical establishments all over the place, but here in Israel as well, that too many preventable mistakes are being made in very real medical situations. Real mistakes that lead to very real deaths. And nothing about very real medical mistakes and deaths is make-believe. So in order to deal with this problem, Amitai and Tel HaShomer approached us and said, okay, will you be a lead donor? And we plan to build this simulation center. So in order to help us lower the number of preventable mistakes, and I understood that by looking at the aviation field, and I work with a mancal from the aviation field also, that when you look at best practices, for example, a pilot doesn't learn to land on water for the first time after never having done it before. First, he did it through simulation. Many, many times, he learned to land on water. So if he ever has to land on water, it's not like he never did it before. So it's the same principle, right? You look at the medical field and you realize by using simulation, you can reduce the number of medical errors and therefore preventable deaths can be exponentially reduced. I'm like, right, I start to understand why it's so extraordinary what's going on here. So the idea is that students can translate their book learning into the various types of patient care that's needed without the fear of making mistakes. And they can actually live the medical experience before doing it physically, which has enormous benefits. And today, with the increased technology, we don't need to try things out on real patients to learn new skills and create greater competence. The creation of excellence can begin by simulating a situation and then creating computerized challenges that a doctor isn't expecting. And then if he or she fails to act the right way, he can debrief, try again, and get it right the next time. And this ability to try again is consistent with all the literature regarding mindset in education environments, where you increase a doctor's sense of learning and they're being willing to try rather than that constant fear of failure. She might not get it right, but that just means she didn't get it right yet. And that she has another chance after you debrief. There's nothing make-believe about that. And that's really inspiring. Then I got really excited. I was like, wow, what an amazing donation. I'm totally psyched about this. The ability to train students in medicine, in nursing, in various techniques, in social skills, in how to talk to them. How, I'm sensitive to that when a doctor enters the room, how they talk to me. Whoa. From all over the country also means that this center isn't only for people in Tel HaShomer, but it's a national center that touches the lives of all people in Israel from all sectors and all societies. And in addition, the Simulation Center's cooperation with international medical teams further enhances Israel's global impact in medical fields around the world. So when I think about our involvement in this donation now, I feel so grateful for the opportunity to be part of such an innovative center which touches on so many things that are important to us in the AZRIELI Foundation: education, health, innovative care for all the people of Israel, and our ability to create meaningful impact worldwide. And I'm so proud of all of our involvements with this world-class hospital, Tel HaShomer. Over the years, we've been privileged to be able to give to the AZRIELI Cardiac Surgery Intensive Care Unit. We've been privileged to give to Fragile X Research, to emergency grants for past emergencies, and most recently for Corona, and now for the Medical Simulation Center, and soon, God willing, we'll be back for another Cornerstone ceremony for the AZRIELI Cardiovascular Tower. So I'm proud to say that our overall commitment to Tel HaShomer in the last few years has reached over 75 million shekel. And by the way, our overall commitment to medical education in Israel and to a long list of medical institutions throughout Israel over the last 10 years stands at over 400 million shekel. So on behalf of my whole family, on behalf of the Azrieli Foundation, I thank you amazing people of Tel HaShomer, to the Medical Simulation Center, to our partners in this donation, and of course to the amazing staff at the Azrieli Foundation, without whom none of this would have been possible. Thank you so very much.
You are recruited. Dana is recruited. I mean, she can give our talk so much better.
Amazing.
It is amazing.
I went through a real transformation.
And you are now our ambassador worldwide.
Mamash.
We'll use it.
You've got me
You
sold.
couldn't have done it better.
So that was an amazing speech by Dana. Okay. I'm now honored to ask Professor Yitzhak Kreis to the podium. Professor Kreis has known Amitai since their days in medical school at the Hebrew University. He has been an enthusiastic supporter of simulation throughout the years, starting as a physician in the medical corps of the IDF, and later as the IDF Surgeon General, and of course now as the Director General of Sheba Medical Center. With Professor Kreis's leadership and guidance, Sheba is constantly pushing the boundaries, reaching higher, and achieving new peaks. And Sheba has been declared a top 10 hospital in the world by Newsweek magazine for 3 years running. With his direction, we are establishing the new MSR-AZRIELI Israel Center for Medical Simulation. Without his wholehearted support, this all would not be possible. Thank you, Itzik.
Thank you.
Good afternoon. Dear Azrieli family, you are a very special family. I'll begin with you, I'll end my speech with you. Dana, Dani, Naomi in Canada, Dana, COO of the Azrieli Foundation in Canada, Galit Gal, our people, our team in Canada, Daryl Reutman, Einat Inbar, esteemed guests. You coming here to Sheba, what we call the semester ceremony, is a holiday. We didn't have many holidays the last year. This is a special occasion. It symbolizes our belief, our principle, that life goes on. And I think the Azrieli family, you must know that this is the first ceremony that we gather outside in that way, and that must symbolize something that I'll talk about in the future. So thank you very much for coming this special day. Now, my version. Exactly 5 years ago, March 2016. At that, so far you were right. I was at home after a day here as an intern at Sheba. I was an intern, 2016. Just retired from the IDF, but here I got a post of intern. I was studying and struggling to become the CEO of Sheba, but I was nominated. It was before I was nominated. 7 p.m. phone call. I didn't even know the ways here at Sheba. I didn't even know the buildings here at Sheba. I didn't even know because it was only a few months that I was here. Only an intern. A phone call. Shalom, this is Professor Shani. Yes, for me Professor Shani was like, God and above God. Yes, he was running Sheba at that time because there was a transition in management. I must ask your permission. I was an intern, ask for my permission for something. look, the Azrieli family was here today, and they are willing to donate, support $10 million for the new MSR building. So, and I say so, do you agree? Of course I agree. What he didn't tell me is that this building is going to be a $30 to $40 million project. So I said he wanted my permission or future approval to go on. And I said, I hesitated for a moment, to tell you the truth. And I asked him, is this the first thing? I didn't have a clue. How big is the project? How much is $30 million, $40 million for Sheba? And I said, is this the first priority for us to decide? He hesitated for a moment. And I will take you now to another picture in my life. 33 years ago, 33 years before that moment of time, I entered into class at the Hebrew University, my first day as a medical student. I was almost 18 years old. If you understand what I mean, I say atudai, means like a nerd, something like that. And at this class, there's a guy, everyone introduces himself. I introduce myself. I'm a 18-year-old high school student, and I'm a tudai. Okay, what can I say? And beside me stands a person, and I look at him and says, my name is Amitai Ziv. I'm 24-something years old, and I'm a combat pilot, Phantom combat fighter pilot. For me, that time, it looks like Messi. Coming back to March 2016, then I remembered that this is Amitai Ziv. He's the one. He didn't talk to me, but he's the one behind that. And I said to Motke, to Professor Shani, okay, let's go for that. 5 years after that, we stand here. We could do it faster, but we insisted on several elements that I'm very thankful that you understood. One, we have to go legal. We have to be very, very strict with how we build here. So we got the permissions and it took, you know that it takes a lot of time here. Second, we have to ensure that this is a sustainable institution, and we've done it. 3, we have to be convinced that this is part of our vision to transform healthcare. So we needed to plan very strict MSR building. And then the corona came, and then we could be very convinced that we can sit here today and tell you, the Azrieli family, Sheba people, and MSR team, we are going to fulfill the vision. MSR can change the future of healthcare, and it's very impactful. It has a lot more impact than many of what you call, Dana, and I agree with you, than what we call real medicine or real healthcare, because it impacts a lot of professions, a lot of patients, our organizational culture, our DNA, the way we treat our people, the way we treat our patients, the way we educate our students, the way we develop the new generation of healthcare professionals, the way we learn from our errors, not simple for physicians, for healthcare professionals. This can change the way we provide medicine. And then, we developed our vision to transform this place to the city of health and to become a leading institution in the world. So we have achieved, as you know, the top 10 position for 3 years now. We are very good institution, we're an excellent institution. And when I ask myself, how come a small country of 9 million people can achieve such kind of achievement of lead the world in several of the aspects of medicine? MSR is one of them. Because 20 years ago, then young pilot believes he can fulfill his vision. And I want to share with you that MSR is not only an institution of medical education. MSR is for me a model for fulfilling a vision, making a dream reality. And when I want to say, you can ask our guests, you can ask every person here at Sheba, when I want to mark or emphasize to my people, have a dream, plan, make it a reality. I say, be MSR. I say, be Amitai Ziv. Be Kim Macmillan. They know. And the impact of MSR is a lot more than in Israel. We call it the Israel Simulation Center. But really, this is an international institution. It is stationed here in Israel. And the impact of Sheba and MSR influences Mayo Clinic and McGill University and other hospitals in the world. Part of them are sharing with us the top 10 institutions in the world. And Amitai, Professor Ziv, and MSR team is also working very hard to lead also the third world, the weaker world. Extend a hand to everywhere people want to accept us, because they see their role to change the future of medicine. So this day is a day that you celebrate not only the building, not only the medical education institution. We are celebrating the success of fulfilling a dream. This is the good news. The bad news is that for them, it's only the beginning. And then my version. And then they compose a planning team. And then they begin with one floor, the second floor, then it comes fourth floor. They told me, Motke told me there's only two-floor building somewhere near Tsipokovsky. I want to remember that we began with changing this or building somewhere here in the building, but then it becomes, the photo is 7th floor. Be sure that it will get bigger. I know. Okay, you know. And there's okay, and then they come with a -1 floor. And they convince us that this is the new robotic surgery, whatever simulation future team. נכון אמרי? יפה. They know the work. They know how to do it. But this is how visionary people work. So I want to thank you today. Our extraordinary, rare, excellent MSR people, MSR team. MSR is no longer an institution, it's an idea. And this is a special opportunity for me to share that with you today. All this vision could have stayed a plan or presentation if it wasn't for a very strange, unique family who is very successful, very Zionistic, very people that listen, that feel, that are willing to share. And believe me, from the short period that I'm running this institution, it's not taken for granted that if you are successful, strong, and a leader, you are also willing to share, to listen, to support. And I became familiar with the values of the Azrieli family. And you are the strongest partner that Sheba has. The strongest partner that Sheba has. And it's not only the amount of resources that you are willing to share with us or to support us. it's also the way we feel that you are behind us. Every time we need you. Every time we need you. And believe me, Dana, there was exactly 1 year ago, a moment in time that we were underground fighting the corona. And we reached out to our partners. And it wasn't only the amount of resources that you shared with us. It was the way that you supported us. We won't forget that. We won't forget that you were standing behind us in the toughest time we had here at Sheba. I also want to thank you for sharing the vision of the cardiovascular, the new cardiovascular building. This is the next ceremony. There's no corona anymore, so we can plan the ceremony, the cardiovascular ceremony. And this is for you the good news. The bad news that we have other plans to present you and the people in Canada. So I know that there were days that you were encouraging us to go faster. So it will happen. I want to end and tell my Sheba team, there are many ways that we can change the future of medicine. MSR is one of them. And for that we need the people of MSR, the special team of MSR. So before I go on, because in my paper, it says that we need to do a kind of ceremony now, right? Okay, but before that, I want to invite each one that is a MSR team, that is one of the part of MSR team, to stand here for a special photo before we begin the ceremony. But don't do it like in the army. Come, stand, so we won't waste time. Kim, stand beside me. All the MSR team. This is the most important photo. אתם מרגישים?
כן.
עכשיו תסתכלו על המצלמה.
להוריד מסכה לשנייה.
כן. רגע. יש? דנה, בואי לידי. תודה רבה. עד שתשאירי פה.
I would like to say thank you to all of you who participated today. Thank you, Azrieli Family and Foundation, and all of you again for being here to celebrate this meaningful step to better the world with simulation-based medical education. Without each and every one of you, this would not have been possible. Have a good day or evening wherever you may be in the world, and above all, stay safe and healthy. We look forward to seeing you all again at the opening ceremony in 2024. So now we're going to be doing the signing. So now we're going to be signing. It's not exactly the plans, it's a picture of the new building. And it's going to be put into the ground here with cement, and it will be the cornerstone. Exactly. It will be the cornerstone of the building.
תאריך, מה תאריך היום? נקוד בשלושתם, 10 למרץ?
21.
בואי תחתמי פה. תני לי את זה.
אחד לאדמה, אחד למסר ואחד לעזריאלי.
אתם תקבלו עותק אחד, כמו גם. חתם 3 פעמים.
אולי תשימי?
אוקיי, עכשיו את מה אנחנו עושים?
יש לנו
גם את שלח אותי.
יש את נעמי גם, יש לנו דקה של נעמי, נהדר.
כן, יופי, כן.
שמים גם שלח אותי פה.
יופי, נהדר.
פה, כן,
אז זה נשים פה, זה נשים פה.
קדימה.
יופי.
טוב, נעמי תגלגלי את זה.
פה, גלית פה.
דנה.
ובשלישי גם, עכשיו דנה את מגלגלת את זה.
תגלגלי את זה, תכניסי לפה.
לא, פה גלית. נהדר. יופי.
יפה, תכניסי לפה.
עכשיו אני מגלגלת.
יפה.
חברים, עכשיו זה סמנט. יש לנו מלטה.
אז איפה? אני רוצה
So Dana's
ואת
now
תחליטי
inserting
מי
it into
ייקח.
the glass.
כן, הבנות שלי ודני
דני.
ומנחם,
גליה, בואו.
גליה,
איתי,
דני.
אתה איתה?
כן, כן. אני עצמי.
אלן, יש לו פה?
בואי תצטרכי אותנו.
אולי ענת או גלית, גלית גם.
גלית, בואי.
אולי ענת, לכי וגלית בואי. ומנחם, אתה רוצה לבוא? Where's Danny?
דני, קח את חפירה. קח את חפירה. רגע, דנה. קח את חפירה, תעמוד שם.
אוקיי.
עשינו את זה כמה פעמים בחיינו.
כבר בנו כמה בניינים במשפחה.
מנחם, בוא לפה. רגע, ושירו אותם. המצלמה תראה אותם.
בוא, מנחם. יאללה.
לא מנחם. אני עולה, רגע.
דני.
כן, רגע.
ואמיתי גם, אמיתי.
אני אקח כזה וגם אתה איתי.
יאללה, קדימה.
תן לי לעבור את השני, אני אעזוב אותך.
מוכנים?
מוכנים?
את שמה?
רגע, זה ספלאדרינג, כן?
כן, תיזהר עליי, אל תדאגי.
לא נעשה ספלאט.
לא נכניס.
יש ניסיון בזה. בסדר? אלא עוד 2 דקות. אלא, לא, בסדר, היא תפסת. אני שמה.
את שמה.
אוקיי?
מתישהו צריך להתחיל.
מתישהו.
תתחיל לדרך.
שיהיה במזל טוב.
מזל טוב. שהחיינו וקיימנו והגיענו לזמן הזה.
אלוהינו מהחלון שהחיינו וקיימנו והגיענו לזמן הזה.
אמן.
יפה, דני, גבר.
דני, גם אתה, אני אשים עוד פה קצת מלט.
חבר'ה,
קדימה, אחרי יש פה מלט, אפשר לבוא ולקחת.
כל מי שרוצה תמונה שיבוא לשים קצת מלט. מרגלית גמש.
מלט.
גם קצת מלט אנחנו צריכים, גם קצת מלט.
חוץ צמנט. איליה, קח לו את המלט.
לא, צריך.
רגע, תהיה כאן.
אוקיי.
תגיד לו מלט.
קדימה. מלט.
מי הכי צעיר במסר? עם ריבוינה. עם ריבוינה. חבר'ה, זה כבוד גדול. זה כבוד גדול. עוד 20 שנה ישאלו מי זה הזקן הזה שהיה פה ב...
אתה יכול לדאוג שהיא במצלמה, היא במצלמה גם? רגע, הם הולכים עם המלט, אז תהיי עם המלט.
בואי, יאללה.
איפה ליאת פסח?
שים, גיל, שים.
אלה, you want to take the
בואו, אלה, גליה, תעשו גם את המלט.
בואו.
אני רוצה להגיד לכם משהו, גליה במד"א. והיא מאוד רוצה, אני רוצה גם לעשות סיור במסר, שיכולה אולי...
VIP, תשימי אותי גוברת על זה. בשבוע הבא נקבע יום ותבואי.
הנה, אני מצלמת.
לעשות החייאה, לטפל בסלים, משהו. בין שעה וחצי כזה.
יאללה, קדימה, אני מצלמת.
יאללה, קדימה.
באמת, חבר'ה נכון?
גם את. לא יודעת איך
במד"א,
לפנסיה. פנסיה לא, עוד 4 שנים את לא בפנסיה. אני בפנסיה.
רגע, בואו נעמוד שם, נעשה את זה לאדריכלים.
היי, ססקו,
רגע,
קדימה. צבי, נורית, קדימה.
קדימה, אבל על המצלמה,
לא, צבי, בוא מפה, הפוך, לא מסביב, אנחנו רוצים שיצלמו אותך.
כן.
לא, מסביב זה תעלה דרך ה...
תיזהר.
אוקיי. יופי. נורית, בואי גם את, צבי, אתה שם את שלך. איש יקר.
אמיתי למצלמה, אמיתי.
נורית, קדימה. יופי. קדימה, יעל.
שיהיה לנו תמונה יחד עם...
שלישיית הארכיטקטים, חברים. נהדר.
בכל זאת, צבא, אלוף במילואים, מנחם עינן, להרים כוסית לחיים ולברך, בואו. כן, מנחם, בבקשה.
קודם כל, אתם רואים איך תוקפים אנשים בלי שהם יודעים. על כל פנים, זה כבוד גדול להיות חלק ממה שנקרא מסר. היינו פה באמת לפני 5 שנים עם משפחת עזריאלי, ואני כחבר דירקטוריון אחד מתוך רבים. גם אנחנו, היה לנו ספק אם בסוף יצא מזה משהו, אבל מסתבר שכל דבר שיוזמים בסוף זה יוצא יותר טוב גם ממה שחשבת בהתחלה. ואני יכול לומר לכם שלהיות חלק מבית חולים שיבא, שלנו יש קשרים אדוקים גם עם מחלקת לב, לא בגלל שהייתי חולה שם, אבל יש שם מנהל המחלקה שהיה מ"פ בגולני, רק שתדע.
רענני.
כן, רענני. הוא היה הראשון שתרמנו לו בשיבא, ואנחנו ממשיכים הלאה. אני יכול לומר שלכבוד לנו, וכשאני רואה את הצוות שנמצא פה, שום דבר לא יורד לטמיון ענק, הכל הולך ופורח, וכך גם יהיה בעתיד. תודה רבה לכם.
תודה לחיים.
לחיים כולם.
חג שמח.
תודה למשפחת ציפרוקובסקי שהצטרפה אלינו. זה...
כן.
לרוב האנשים בשיבא ציפרוקובסקי זה בניין, אבל...
זה זיכרונות.
זה אבא של ורדה.
ולמי שאחראי על הדבר היפה הזה, איפה צבי מוססקו?
צבי מוססקו, תראה את עצמך.
איפה הוא? כן. ומי שאחראי למשפחת מוססקו לדבר היפה הזה, חבר'ה, תרחמו עליהם קצת בעלויות, קצת, אבל זה הכי יפה בעולם.
צהל עובד.
זה חייכם גם.
לחיים, צבי.
טוב, כל אחד יכול לקחת לאכול ולהתרחק, כי זה מזה.
כן, לאכול ולהתרחק, כן, לא הייתי חושבת עם אנשים...
גם אנחנו. אני מדבר איתך דולרים, לא היה לעשות את זה זה לא נראה לי. אז היום אנחנו מתחילים, בדיוק. נזמין אותך. אני מדבר איתך, בסדר? זה נכון? אני איתך.
היא הייתה על הזום? הייתה בזום. כן, לא היא הייתה, קשה היה לראות את המסך, היא הייתה. את מדברת את הסיום של המסך.
יופי, אז תמשיך ככה, והייתה בריאות.
רק בריאות. אני יודע שאתם נפגשים מדי פעם, אז אני מקבל דיווחים.